Hey everyone, we are really excited to start off this series called PAPARAZZI with you. Over the next 5 weeks, we're going to dive into the book of James. In this book, it's full of down-to-earth wisdom and guidance on how to live out our faith in a world that is watching our every move. And today, we're going to focus on chapter 1, which talks about trials and temptations and how we can face them head-on so that we can grow spiritually. But let's kick things off by getting to know James, the author of this book, because he's not just any writer, he's Jesus' own brother, and he's going to play a significant role as a leader in the early church. And James, he wrote this letter to Jewish Christians who found themselves scattered across various nations, struggling with a wide range of challenges and hardships. They faced persecution and internal conflicts on top of the daily challenge of trying to keep their faith strong in a world that didn't understand or accept them. This letter was a lifeline for them. It gave them the guidance and the encouragement that they so desperately needed to navigate these challenges in which they were facing. Now, facing trials and growing in our faith, that's a theme that we find all throughout the Bible. In the Old Testament, we see the story of Job, who stayed true to God despite losing his children and his possessions and even his health. Or fast forward to the New Testament. In Romans chapter 5 and verses 3 through 5, where the Apostle Paul writes about how suffering can lead to perseverance and character and hope. So what James is doing, he's trying to build on Paul's message, emphasizing the importance of staying strong and seeking wisdom whenever we face adversity. In 1940, a girl named Wilma Rudolph was born. And as a child, Wilma faced polio, scarlet fever, and pneumonia. The doctors told her that she would never walk again, but she refused to accept that fate. She persevered through years of physical therapy, and ultimately, she became a world record-breaking Olympic champion. And her story shows us that facing trials with determination can make us stronger and more resilient. Now, as we dive into this study, I want to encourage you to embrace James' message of perseverance and wisdom in your own life. Now, I love that you're studying this book in community. We can grow together and support one another through the ups and downs in life, showing the world the power of trusting God during some of those challenging times. Now let me really quick recap some of the main points from my message this past weekend. The first is we've got to enjoy the journey. We need to embrace the trials and the challenges that come our way and consider them opportunities for growth and for joy. 2, we got to pray for wisdom. We got to ask God for wisdom when we face challenges and trust that He's going to provide it generously. And then 3, we've got to focus on the crown. We got to keep our eyes on the eternal reward. These trials that we face, they're temporary, but we one day have heaven waiting on us. And as we study James chapter 1, let's remember to apply these 3 steps to develop spiritual endurance and see how they apply to our lives. But James 1 is full of insight that we didn't have a chance to go over this weekend. And so before you explore it even more, I want to get the conversation started in your groups by having you answer the question, can you think of a time when you faced a significant trial or challenge, and how did you see God working during that time? How did that experience shape your faith and to help you grow spiritually? So take some time to discuss this with your group. Share your stories and listen to one another and find encouragement in how God has been with you during some of your tough times. But get ready, because this is going to be an incredible journey as we learn how to live out our faith in a world that is always watching and how we can make an impact in those around us. Thank you for joining me today. I can't wait to see how God is going to work in our lives as we study and apply the truths from James chapter 1. Let's do this.